Howdy doody. Welcome back to the ranch. My name is Mick. This is my 1980 International 1854 dump truck that I've dubbed St. Nick on the channel due to its red and green color. Also, she's a little thick. Today is a very, very exciting day due to its large stature and heavy build, we'll say. Backing up is not the easiest thing in this truck. Knowing where you're at is near impossible. So today we install a backup camera, a dash cam, and high tech for a 1980, an Apple Play system.
My leg!
Now I know what you're thinking. Out of all the vehicles, what business does an Apple Play system have to do, is that English? Have to do with a 1980, some would say, POS, putting it kindly, dump truck? But I'm here to tell you, I have been in the market for a backup camera for this truck ever since I bought it. Backing up is nearly impossible with this thing. I mean, if you want to hook a trailer on, if you're working alone like I am, it takes a couple tries. So I've been waiting to invest in a camera for a while, and I am excited about this because, yes, I get my backup camera, but also, like I said, dash cam, which is always recording, and auto deleting, which is nice, especially for being in this thing. You know, people get a little crazy on the roads. That's no surprise. But also, the Apple Play system will be super cool. The radio that I have in there is terrible. It is Bluetooth. I did put it in, but it was like a cheapo $10 Amazon find. It's pretty rough. So this will allow me to connect my phone through Bluetooth, which will be nice, as well as throwing your maps up there if you got a route that you're taking. So all in all, super, super excited for this. Plan for tomorrow, because surprise, I'm not doing it today. It's dark and it's raining. Weather in Cleveland recently has just been terrible. This just in, weather in Cleveland, absolutely beautiful. You can expect clouds, rain, more rain, cold. Actually, yeah, cameraman, can you make sure you keep that thing nice and dry? Because I got a lot of money invested into that one. Anyway, back to you, pal. But tomorrow it looks like we get a break in the weather. No rain tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we should be able to get a full day of sharing my install with you guys in the process. From what I've been reading, it's pretty plug and play. If you want to buy it for yourself, it's really just a plug in your cigarette lighter type of deal. But for me, the wiring in this truck is so bad. It's so bad. I don't even think my cigarette lighter works or has power to it. So we're gonna have some investigating to do. I also want to wire in the backup camera to a switch, which will be a little bit different. Normally in a regular car, modern day car, you're just gonna wire it into your backup lamp, and that'll kick on the camera every time you put your car in reverse. For me, I want to wire it to a switch, so I could show you how to do that. I'm pretty sure, theoretically, if I just wire in a push switch or a toggle switch and put direct 12 volts to the camera whenever that switch is on, I should be able to turn on the camera whenever I please. And that would be in times like driving down the road, or when I really need it, when I'm backing up to a certain place to dump and I need to know how far to go, etc., 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 all that fun stuff. So I will meet you back here tomorrow morning for the install, and I hope you are looking forward to it as much as I am, because I cannot wait. All right, we're back. It is the afternoon, unfortunately. I had some other obligations that I had to take care of this morning, helping a friend move out. Let's do the unboxing, as I've already unboxed. Truth be told, the packaging is much nicer when you receive the product. I opened it already. Surprise. I had to come up with a plan. I had to pull it out of the box and make sure I was gonna have what I needed to do the project. So, unfortunately, no, this is not the first unboxing. But that's showbiz, baby. So, this is your screen. Still got the plastic wrap on it. Touchscreen, obviously. This is your whole CarPlay system. Also has the dash cam here. There are multiple ways to mount it. You can either do the suction cup route, or the way that I'm going to do it is just the actual base, which there are pre-drilled holes for screws, which is pretty nice. Or you can just stick it with a 3M tape. For me, I'm going to be opting for the screw-in option, but do as you please. All right, what else we got? Cords, seems important. Backup camera, which is what I'm after. And I'm assuming I'm going to have plenty of cord here, because they do show in the pictures that you can hook this thing up to like a box truck. So I'm not sure what the exact footage is, but we're going to find out. So there's the backup camera. Not positive. Power cord. This is going to be our first step here, because like I said, I don't think my cigarette lighter works. I don't even know if that's what you call it technically anymore, because no one really uses them for lighting cigarettes anymore. But regardless, we got to figure this one out. That's going to be step one for us. There were instructions in here. Somehow I may have lost them already, but that's neither here nor there. Let's jump in the cab and get to work here, because I'm running out of daylight already, like normal. All right, MTV Cribs, welcome to my crib. All right, so let's jump in here from the passenger side. A little bit easier with the gear shift in the way here. Here's the wiring mess that I'm talking about, and it gets worse when you really get in here and start rooting around. It's pretty bad. There's wires everywhere. It's not great. There's a lot of like gauges that don't have power to them anymore, and they added auxiliary gauges in lieu of the stock gauges. So I know there's a lot of wires behind the dash that are spaghetti. What I'm hoping is there's something back here, because I know there's a hot lead to it somewhere. And I'm pretty sure it's this, but she chopped off. She gone. Here's my nice little radio here that I put in. So I'm hoping I can kind of open up the dash and find something that's a hot wire that I can hook in. It'll be a lot easier that way. The plan is to get my new screen up here, which is gonna be a little lopsided, so I gotta raise it up a bit. Yes, I already have a plan with that as well. But we're gonna throw the screen up there. We're gonna hook all the wires in, hopefully get that cigarette lighter hot, run power to it, and then find a good spot for a toggle switch or something, which I'm thinking is going to be right here. And we should just be able to flip that on, throw 12 volts to the backup camera, which we can run a wire all the way to the back, and mount the camera, run the wire into the existing loom, and run it all the way up here. That's the plan right now. That's the plan. All right, so I'm just going to start with pulling this stuff out of here. Like I said, all I'm looking for is I know there's a jumble of wires back here, and I'm just looking for something that's already hot. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have my accessory power on with my key, and I'm just going to take my cheapo multimeter here and just start probing the wires that are exposed to see if anything's 12 volts, which I'm sure there is going to be. I remember being back here, and I remember there just being a bunch of wires that were disconnected. I'm seeing lots of Scotch clips, which aren't preferred. All right, so here's what we're looking at back here. I got my multimeter all set up. So this red wire here, I got my key switched on, and you can see I got 0 volts over there, so that's a dead wire. There's nothing to that. I got this black lead here. That's also dead. I got another one tucked away in this corner. That's also dead. Okay, and then I got this green wire back here, and that one's 12 volt hot. Okay, so we got a live wire back here, which is not in use, obviously, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that as my hot lead to my cigarette lighter, which is already exposed wire sitting here. So I can route this to here, which I'll probably just put a little spade terminal on the end of this so I can just click it right in, and then we should have power for our system. All right, so I'm gonna get started on this, and I want to preface, like normal, by saying I'm not good at wiring. I actually really do not like wiring. Ask all of my previous experiences. I'm self-taught just from throwing myself into the fire and figuring it out. For those of you that were in the same position as me, when you know nothing about something, you just gotta grab the bull by the horns and try. With that being said, I also understand that this isn't the correct way of doing this. I should be running new wire down to the fuse panel, putting in a new fuse, and running a new hot lead. But I'm not gonna do that. That's not what this here truck is about. It's about making do with what you got. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm grabbing this hot lead. I think I'm gonna split 2 leads from this. Again, not best practice, don't care. I got all this leftover wire from this cigarette lighter lead, so I think I'm gonna cut her a little bit short, and that way I have wire for that I can split for my switch, and that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get to work and shut up. Ready? What I'm gonna do is grab my power, see if this thing fires up. Plug it in, like I said, plug and play. And power. There we go. All right. Ooh. I'm like a little kid right now. This is cool. Wow, that's a nice screen. All right. So, Apple CarPlay, how to set up. I'm not going to take you through all this. I'm just going to, you can do this on your own, is what I'm saying. So, I'm going to set up my phone here, see if we can't get this hooked up. That's embarrassing. My Bluetooth, that went really quick. My Bluetooth hooked up, and Gene Autry. It's Christmas time, baby. So anyway, that's that. Let's get back to the home page. Now, I'd like to test out the backup camera here, which is just this little guy right here. And we should be able to... This is fun. This is like I said, it's just like a little toy for me. Auxiliary AVN, which is probably what I need, right? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's got to be... Oh, so I got to flip this around. Okay, so if my theory is correct, I should be able to grab this red wire, touch it to this red wire, and it should give me a viewing of what's on the camera. Yep, sure does. Oh, and I even got like the backup lines. That's cool. Camera's upside down right now. We could flip it around. Awesome. Oh, good. All right, sweet. That was my biggest fear, was whether or not that was going to work, and it sure does. Now we move on to dry fitment, which what I have planned for this, like I said, I'm going to mount this here, but like I said, you can see this is on an angle. So I planned ahead because, you know, I'm a smart guy and everything. I made a little stand here. Again, this is all... You don't have to do this. This is just me being me. I want it to be the way I want it. I wanted it mounted on my dash. So this is what I got going on. It's a little wedge, and if I shove her in here, it's going to kick me up. That way I got a nice flat surface. It should work out perfect. Why would you ask? It's just something I like to do. Something about a wood mount for something mechanical is just satisfying to me in a weird way. I don't know. Like my GoPro mount is just a little block of alder with some magnets that I put in on the bottom. I'll probably burn my name into that too, just because I'm weird, you know? I don't know. Alright, I think next step for me, I'm going to mount this screen so at least I have that stable. I can button all this back together and then we should be good to go. See? I don't know what it is. I'm stupid. Flip the key off and then maybe, you know, be a little more cautious. Not ground out a hot lead, you dummy. Alright, got this all buttoned up and I got my mount pretty much where I want it, so I think what I'm gonna do, pre-drill some holes where this is gonna mount to, and again, just kind of quick and dirty, nothing too serious. Little drywall screws, which are grossly underrated in my opinion. I love using drywall screws wherever I can. Call me a hillbilly. I call myself resourceful and frugal. One, two, other two. I gotta take this mount off. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, I am a huge fan of just making things work, not being careless, but I don't want to overanalyze the details. I mean, something like this to me is just, it's a means to a use, you know, that's the whole point of this. I don't need to make it super pretty. But also in doing that, in my opinion, I think there's beauty per se in something that's just put to good use. So something like this to me looks good.
Wow, that's deep. Really deep.
But if you disagree, let me know, because that's kind of always been my mantra and how I deal with things. And to me, that's just what I like. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be really nice. Ah, all right, sweet. Okay, jacket's going back on. It's getting cold again. Weatherman screwed up today. It's been spitting all day. It's been cold. It was supposed to be like 50 and no rain at all, but it's been progressively, spitting. Enough about my vendetta against the weatherman. Anyway, we're outside the truck again. I got the camera over here just kind of dangling in the wind, and I'm going to run my wires through the existing loom down there. That one. We'll run it along the frame rail here, dip down, and then the loom goes into the cab right there. Right through here, which has already conveniently been cut by somebody else. That's where the loom comes up. So we'll run our cord and our new wire in unison through the floor from there, wire it up, should be good to go. I'm sorry, I kind of got carried away. My cameras are dying. I'm on my phone at this point. But here we are. After a long fought battle, I got my wires shoved up through here next to this loom. And we're pulling them through. My Tootski is soaked.
Tootski.
But nonetheless, we got these through, so I'm just going to pull them through, run them through the rubber floorboards here and up. Land them there. All right, where are we sitting at? We got our loom all buttoned up down here, kind of dark, but that's all put back together. The wire runs down below. You can see it popping through right here, actually. Runs through this channel, dips back underneath here. Again, pretty dark. Up and around, and pops out right here. So we are all set, wiring complete. So let's fire this thing up, raise the bed up to get my safety off, drop the bed, and we can wrap this thing up by mounting our toggle and then mounting our backup camera, and we should be good to go. All right, we're running out of daylight here. I'm thinking we can jump back in the cab because I got light in there, finish up our wiring, and then I'm just gonna screw in the backup camera tomorrow morning, show you what I do there. Somebody's firing guns in the background. So let's jump in the cab, get this wiring finished up. Here's my plan. We've got a push button switch. So it's just a simple switch, one lead in, one lead out. And what we're gonna do here, throw this into this existing hole. Got a little washer to cover the gap. So there's that, on off. So all we're gonna do here is wire our hot lead. Ah, I'm such an idiot. Why do I keep doing that? Turn your switch off. All right, so we're gonna wire this to this, and that'll give us power to the switch, and then we'll wire our new wire, our blue wire, to the other end, and that, in simple terms, when you connect the switch, it lets the electricity travel from one wire to the other and puts power to it. So, with that being said, grab a little connector. I talk about these connectors every time I do any sort of wiring where I'm not soldering on this channel. And basically the only time that I'm not soldering is when I'm here at the yard or in the field and you don't have access to electricity. I just use these cheap little connectors, but then I double insulate. So I'll throw an insulation shrink wrap over top of everything, and it works just fine. Anyway, I'm not going to make you sit through this whole thing, so all I'm doing is connecting these two wires and then the other two wires, and that's it. So time lapse away. I think I'm thinking on this video I'm going to use I St. James because he's out in London, and the weather recently, like I say, it's Peaky Blinders.
By order of the Peaky Blinders.
All right, flip my key on, all hooked in there. See if this thing works. I hope it works. Moment of truth. There it goes. Nice. All right, perfect. Now I wonder, you're not going to be able to see anything. Oh yeah, I gotta turn my current off. Wow, that's going to be so nice. Obviously that camera isn't mounted back there, so you can't. It's going to have a better view later. I think that English, please. I swapped the camera around too, so it's right side up at this point. That's a nice clear picture. Cool. Anyway, I don't want to play around with this today. I'd rather do a full test tomorrow morning. Do a little finishing touch here. All right, that'll do it for me tonight. I will meet you all back here in the morning, unfortunately, because I'm out of daylight. We'll test this thing out. Good morning. We are all buttoned up here. I got camera mounted, just nice and easy. All I did was drilled a couple holes front and center and kind of got it at the angle that I like. So that wraps up the install. So I'm going to jump in the cab, see if I can't throw this thing for a little test run back up to the trailer, see what I see. Hopefully it's nice and clear, nice and easy. All right. So you got my view here. Let's fire this thing up. I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me, but we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I'm just going to throw this on just so you can see it. And I kind of got this at an angle where that's the top of my trailer hitch right there. So the ball's right below there. I think that's a good angle for me. So I already built up my brake pressure so we can just get on the road here. Already loving the fact that I could just keep this thing up. I think that's really cool. About right there. That's nice. Alright, let's see how I did. Alright. Not too shabby. Couple inches off, but I am fully centered. Probably just take a little bit of getting used to on what I'm looking at on the screen. That is going to be nice. 10 thumbs up for me. Alright. That is going to bring this one to a close. Closing remarks, please excuse the semi-truck in the background revving up his engine to bring his air brakes up. It's Sunday. Not sure why he's doing that right now. Anyway, closing remarks. 10 out of 10 for me. I am super happy with this thing. The backup camera and the dash cam were obviously my main two draws for getting this thing, and they surpassed my expectations. Super clear screen on both. When you have it up on your screen, you have the option to do a split screen between the dash cam and the reverse camera, as well as going between both. Then obviously the CarPlay is CarPlay. You can pull open your maps, look at where you're going, plug in a route, wherever you gotta go. You can get on Spotify, pick your music, all that fun stuff. And obviously it's all through Bluetooth, so you can pull up your phone, make phone calls hands-free, and all that stuff. So 10 out of 10 for me, super happy with it. I'm going to put it to good use. Obviously I'll link the product in the description. If you guys are interested, you can go and check it out for yourself. With that, moving forward, we're going to be jumping into a new project, so stay tuned. Got a lot coming up for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. And I will see you all in the next one. But do not forget, don't be afraid to grab that wrench, get after it.